Oh, we here. How like a winter hath my absence been for thee, the pleasure of the fleeting year? What freezings have I felt? What dark days seen? What old December's bareness everywhere? Sonnet 97, William Shakespeare. Welcome. Welcome, artists and family. You know what it is. Finally, Thursday night has come back. Pull up a Zoom box, grab a microphone, and get comfortable. It's about to go down. La, 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 welcome to the online open mic presented by the legendary, I said the legendary, New Eurekan Poets Cafe. I am your host. My name is Elemen2al. Happy Thursday. This is the jump off, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. You know how this is. You know how this goes because we've been doing this and doing this and doing this well. So welcome to episode 57. Let's get it as we have been every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, streaming live on YouTube. And if you're watching on one of those streams and you would like to join us in the Zoom, the number's on your screen, 977-539-856. Jump in, join the greatest community in the world. Want to know why I say that? Trust and believe we're going to show you this evening. All right. We have been doing this and doing this and doing this well week after week, thanks to some dedicated folks who pay these bills. All right. So we would like to thank the New York State Department of Cultural Affairs and the New York City Council on the Arts for hosting our free online events. You can add your energy to the mix with a tax-deductible donation by going to newyourekan.org/contribute. Trust and believe every dollar is appreciated and every dollar counts. We truly, truly thank you. Make sure you are plugging in with the dopest tech in the Zoom verse. Doing it only Ron Mark Thompson, aka RMT. You're not down with RMT by now, damn it. You should be all the way up in the BX. You know how it goes. This is where you can find me, Elemen2al.com. Take out the T, put in the number 2, Elemen2al.com. Plug in so many things going on. Listen, tonight's theme, nothing from nothing. Right. And if you saw the email today, there's a couple of little references, right? My mom, shout out moms. always say, and I made sure I reiterated to get it right. Can't get blood from a turnip, right? But we all are somewhat familiar. We've heard the song before. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing, right? Hence the sub-zero aspect, right? Nothing from nothing leaves sub-zero, which is usually nothing, but there are things that exist in the sub-zero sphere. So that is our theme this evening. If your artwork is not on theme, that is still totally cool. We are still looking forward to all of the incredible artistry that you have to share with us this evening. Next week's theme coming at you. The written word translations. I understand there's a couple little, typos and this. However, I left those in there because some people may spell things a little bit differently around the world. You just never know, right? The written word. If you know anything about the Holy Book, right? There are many translations, right? But what is the written word, right? What are the translations to the written word that you can think of, right? That's what we're going to be looking at next week. Also, never forget you have artistic license to do whatever it is with these themes. Just bring your genius to us and share with us, right? Here's a look at the upcoming themes. There are one more, I believe. Passport is the one coming up, I believe, next week or week after next. And then we're going to be getting into February, folks. All right. So let's keep it going. Let's get to the rules so we can get to the artistry this evening. Artists, turn your cameras on. We are trying to simulate a live open mic stage as much as possible. Plus, we love to see all the beautiful exuberance that goes into your performance. All right. So turn your cameras on. As you're getting ready to approach the stage, have your artwork ready. All right. Make sure if you're playing music, right, and a few of our resident musicians are in the building, make sure you go into your internal Zoom settings to make sure your sound settings are set up correctly so we can hear every single note that you're playing. All right. Artists, you got 3 minutes to rock. All right. You have a 30-second intro to let folks know how they can connect with you and all the incredible things that you do. Before or after you get down, make sure you are changing your Zoom name to coincide with how people can connect with you. Before or after you get down, put your information into the chat because we are a community, greatest community in the world. We are trying to continue to grow it. All right. So keep in mind, folks, it's a full list this evening. There will more than likely be folks on the good luck round. So keep in mind, keep it tight, keep it right. Y'all know what time it is, huh? Yeah. Explicit lyricists live in this space, and we rock like Gibraltar. All right. We may bring about some triggering flashbacks, okay? But the founders of our cafe were major proponents on the freedom of speech, and we will make sure it maintains in the vein of everything we do. Therefore, there is no censorship other than any hate speech or any ism that people may use to manipulate, which will not, I said not, be tolerated. Fuck around and get cute and get the boot all the way from the BX, baby. Y'all know what this is, all right? This is a living, breathing trigger warning, all right? Thou hath been warned. This is a true call and response space. After these artists get up here and they share a true essence of who they are, you will see this pop up on your screen. This is when you get a chance to share all of that energy, all of that exuberance with the audience. Don't worry about the noise, y'all. It's the rowdiest night of the week anyway. We're going to make sure it stays that way. So share all of that energy with the room, with the community, and it will be returned to you in the performance of every single artist this evening. Trust and believe. The guaranteed list tonight is closed, all right, because signups begin 24 hours before the show, which would be Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. To sign up, you go to newyurican.org, you click on full events calendar. You click on a Thursday that you want to get down on, and you need an artist RSVP ticket. It's the only way you're getting on the guaranteed list, and they don't pop up until 24 hours before the show. Of course, we do have the good luck round, all right? So if you do want to get down, you're not on the guaranteed list, make sure you are sending a message to me or RMT so we can get you on that good luck round. If you're in the tri-state area, make sure you are plugging in with the New Eurekan Bowery Slam, hosted by J Rose. Shout out J Rose. Shout out Luna Rosa. So many dope artists that come and rock that stage. Make sure you are plugging in. All right. Shout out my man Soul Pre at the Lower East Side Center. Make sure you plug in. This cat's all kinds of amazing. All right, another amazing space to plug in to the artistry, to the poetry, to the community. All right. Also, shout out my man Tony McPherson. Again, shout out to Luna Rosa. Right, the Final Fridays Slam. This is how the Slam team has been built. Right. Make sure that you are putting in the work to get to this stage. All right. There are only sharks in this water. All right. Shout out Charlie Vasquez for all the Know Thyself meditation workshops, all the way in the PR, man. So many things going on, folks. We are trying to cultivate the entire artist. So plug in, folks. Tonight's list. Let me tell you, I look forward to this each and every week. This is the highlight. Let's get to it. There's all my rowdy friends here on Thursday night. What's good, good people? So great to see you all. I see our resident superhero, Finn Bell, is in the building. What's good? The daughter of Krypton. Listen, there's some great folks in here. I see Professor Platinum, right? Our resident blacksmith is in here. Nikki's in here. Listen, so many folks. Joski is here. Elizabeth Horns is here. Jersey in the building. What up, Nate? I see you back in the building, homie. Good to see you, man, for real. Let's jump it off, folks. Y'all know how we do. Let's get to it. Coming up first this evening, as this gentleman, listen, I think he kind of digs setting it off, right? And I dig the fact that he likes the leadoff spot. So let's get to it. Coming up first, this incredible artist has been rocking with us, continues to rock with us, and continues to take it up a notch each and every time we hear him. I'm telling you, his work sticks to your bones, and I'm sure tonight will be no different. The one and only Alan Gary is in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you, man. Always great to see you. Come on, man. Set it off.
Hey, Elemental and my friends. Feel free to follow me on my Facebook page. I am Alan Gary, and I'd just like to give a quick shout out to my Slam mentor, Tony McPherson. Tonight's theme, Nothing for Nothing, Sub-Zero. Well, I believe what goes down can come up with a little hope. And that's what I call this piece tonight, hope. I could not read when I was a child. Teachers at school mocked me like cartoon villains with magical powers. Surviving first grade consisted of being someone else, slipping into jester, rebel, or invisible, rendering me impervious to the many slings and arrows of classmates who grasped their alphabets while I grasped at straws, and their teacher overlord seeking to diminish me even further. Stupid was a nickname I did not want to ever earn and sought to avoid it at every cost. A fate worse than death was to be marked as the least smart in a class whose students all had the challenges of life and burdens of burgeoning stigmas society would soon enough thrust upon them. Sanctuary came at home from my loving mother, who unconditionally was able to intuitively understand what I needed and was able to deliver, guiding me with weekend trips to places in my imagination, plus a little help from books from the library, which she first read to me, then I gifted the stories back to her. Mom was my superhero protector, shielding and teaching me with love, patience, and guidance. Afternoons spent in a small upstairs Brooklyn apartment, able to soar through skies, visiting cultures once unknown, now more friend to me than everyday school encounters. Tilting at windmills, which consisted of images of words on paper, no longer looked like a blank slate, just as my soul used to feel. Learning that I could learn with my mom teaching me that I am worthy. Now I had hope, and here I am, no one's fool. You understand. Thank you.
Yo, that's how you jump it off. That's how you do it. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Alan Garrett.
Right, nice way to start the evening.
That's no problem.
You, man.
Good job.
Very relatable. Nice.
Yeah.
Right. Shout out to all the moms, right? Shout out to the superheroes, right? Shout out Brooklyn in the building. I love how you talked about the classroom, right? Slipping into Jester, right? The many slings and arrows. There's something about that. The teacher overlord, the teacher sets the tone, right? The teacher sets the tone in so many different aspects, and the students just fall in line behind the teacher. And I felt that way in so many of my own classes, right? And when you are in that space, you just exist, you survive. And I'm thankful that you survived. And now you're one of the dopest poets on the planet, man. Appreciate you. Listen, y'all, this is how we do, and we're gonna keep it going. The Starship is underway. Let's keep it going. Appreciate you, Alan. Coming up next, our resident blacksmith is in the building. This gentleman continues to come through with the sharpest pen that I've known, like Mr. Lighthouse Writer himself, the one and only Michael Sindler is in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you. It is always great to see you, sir. Please take it away.
Okay, well, I will start by putting the little thing up for lighthousewriters.org, which is a shining light out there for writers, all kinds of great stuff going on, well worth just checking it out and seeing all the classes and workshops and everything. I was going to read new stuff, but I'm like just really in a very weird space, having found out today that David Lynch passed away, and I just really feel like somebody has just kicked me right in the gut, and it's just hard to even think. So I thought I would read some older stuff that I thought sort of are not like tributes to him or anything, but I thought just sort of fit. First one's called Covered with Velvet. I cleared a space where there was clutter, past infatuations stacked like Jenga sticks, put them in a box I left in a dark corner. In their stead, I made an idol of you. Daily puja ritual and unconscious repetition, each breath a sloka chanted softly. In time, I covered your murti with velvet, looked away in silent songs of love. I could not in time resist the urge to peek when covering was lifted and thrown aside. Worship is no longer constant or fervent, but incense always wafts before your shrine. And this is found taped to fridge. Before you open, there are things inside you might not want to find. There are things that were fresh that now are rotten. There are containers put back empty. There are containers whose contents are sour. Everything inside is dying a bit more, hour by hour. The light may have burned out. And this one is called Grief Motel. Who is in the room beyond this wall? Thin sheetrock layers, no match for grief. Tear flood seeps from hallway stream, new fuel for carpet, sad pattern of mold. Windows rattle, pane sticks to glazing, groans muffled meanings, indistinguishable from climax, slowly unpack suitcase of silence. Does sorrow stop for sleep? Does it ever check out? What does the other side hear from me? New fresh hell in Grief Hotel. And I'm going to read just one more. I know I might be stretching a little, but this is called Mystery and Light. There is solidity in shadow, a strength within the void, a knowledge that lack of light is how we see a form resides. There's a background behind infinity, impenetrable black that bleeds all light into being, a pull that sets what was once pushed into a dance of shade and shower. The glow known in absence illuminates the way back home, turning tide, ceaseless flow. There is a mystery in light. There is solidity in shadow. So RIP for one of the greatest filmmakers and artists of all time, in my opinion, Mr. David Lynch. So thank y'all very much.
Listen, may Mr. David Lynch rest in peace, but thankful we have a Michael Sindler. So unmute yourself, give it up for Michael Sindler.
Beautiful, Michael.
That was powerful. Wow. You can really see how, like, you can really care for somebody without even necessarily knowing them personally when they've been spending their whole life putting themselves, parts of themselves out for us to see firsthand. And, you know, the connection you have with them is really, like, it's palpable in everything you say. So.
I would agree, sir. Listen, just like I think that Martin Scorsese is a part of my life, right? Because of the films that he did, right? The Wachowski sisters are a part of who I am because the way they built the Matrix and how it has impacted my life in the most of cerebral ways. So I totally get that and how you're doing it, and I appreciate you for doing that, sir. And again, how you do it, like, I don't know. Like, I listen, I love the title to your first poem, and I think that I could even say that about your voice, sir, that it's covered with velvet. Okay. That's just too easy for me. You just set that up too very easily for me. I made an idol of you. That's just, it's just how we do. In time, I covered your mercy with velvet. Like, no, I mean, even if it's gravel, it's probably gravel covered in velvet, sir. This is what you do. Things that were fresh, but now are rotten, right? Sometimes memories are like that. Everything inside is dying. The light may have died out, right? But hence, listen, we're thankful that we have Mr. Lighthouse Writers, because even if it does, there's somebody that's gonna be there, right? Grief motels, listen, that I don't know if the vacancy sign ever goes out on grief motels. I don't know, folks. The paint sticks to the glazing, right? Sheetrock layers, no match for grief. Like, come on. There is solidity in shadow and mystery of light. There is, right? There's comfort in shadow sometimes too. And you remind us of all those aspects of light and darkness. And I appreciate you, sir, for always doing what you do. A mainstay of our community. Truly, truly appreciate you, sir. Truly. Make sure you're plugging in with Michael Sindler and lighthousewriters.org. Thank you. All right. Coming up next, Mr. Rhyme, that's always right on time, and a signature smile that to match. Listen, I love this dude so much. He is so on point all the time. The one and only Eddie Foreman in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you, Eddie. Always great to see you, man. Come on, take it away.
Always great to see you too. And don't forget that we love you. Thank you, Elemental, for making our minds and heart explode. Whew. Hello, my name is Ed Potasso, Infinite Fantastic. Please, it's time you can join my rhyme. Five feel sublime. I got two short pieces, so I take too much time. My first piece is called Drawn the Smudge. We created by Earth, the dirt a rebirth. We are her seeds. We breed, she bleeds. Strained by her mud, soaked in the floods. We're flowers in her image, roots without any limits. We don't show you love. Your voice are winds above. We feel your earthquakes while you painfully aches. We see your thunderstorms, your frantic cries of newborn. We touch your hurricanes, the wails of growing pains. We drink your tsunamis, the water cleans your body. We hear you, our mother. We feel your thunder. Yes, we are standing due. Sorry to be a burden to you. Our mother's work is never done. Thank you for being our son. Forgive your uprooted trees. We are pieces of your humanity. Thank you. And another one's called You Are. I build a room on my own. Not me, but you, I, and all. Let our imagination run free. Scars and bumps on our walls. We're building shacks and trees. We shake, collapse, rebuild, or fall. We could be rivers, oceans, or seas. We could be short, medium, or tall. Some might disagree, but grab some tea. Please be mindful of your cholesterol. We're homes, condos, tapes, or DVDs. Some of you deserve this wake up call. Please be happy with extra glee. This is a relapse or a downfall. Please don't scream like a banshee. Hey, don't go yelling at City Hall. Please be a barrel full of monkeys. Don't be as plastic as a Barbie doll. You're whatever you believe or see. Please, just don't be a crazy goofball. You could be a concert, play, or jamboree. You could be a jawbreaker or a gumball. You could be a medal, a trophy, or Oscar nominee. You could be a snowball, a baseball, or basketball. No, you can't. Okay, hold up. Pardon me. I don't have foresight or a magical crystal ball. Yes, you could be a mansion or a yacht. Fiddly D. You could be a Aleve, Tums, Benadryl, or Tylenol. Please don't go on a minus chopping spree. This is a spitball, a stonewall, or a pitfall. You could be a CEO, teacher, scholar, or VIP. You could be the Statue of Liberty or the Taj Mahal. You could be whatever you want in the land of kind of free. You're what you apply, manage, and install. You could be an ant, a spider, a butterfly, or a queen bee. You could be Saul, Squala, Paula, or Paul. No, but you're doing it now. It's called poetry. Poetry could be scribbles, carvings, or graffiti on the wall. You're what you can be. It's not under lock and key. You can be the sun, a cloud, a storm, or a parasol. You don't need a college degree. Take it from me. Thank you.
I told y'all, when that cat sinks into his rhyme, it brings the sun out, right? He just does that. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Poetastic.
Oh, thank you, man. That just really made my day.
Very nice. Very nice.
No matter how down you get, just hearing, and you just always make things brighter.
I feel like people got like almost like it felt like, oh, when you rhyme in a poem, that's like what the amateurs do. Like you have to be cool, you have to not use rhymes anymore. But it's like people forget how like much energy, using rhyme, like the rhyming scheme can really bring into it, and like it like dances along and makes it really refreshing. So I appreciate that a lot.
What makes you so dangerous, Eddie, is that your poetry is uplifting and makes people smile. There's a lot of people that find that suspect, but never mind them.
Hope your smile lasts for a while. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Woo!
Listen, this cat is like one of the most positive cats I've ever come across in poetry, right? Other than my man RMT, who always wanted to make our nights shiny and bright, right? Eddie is just so positive, right? All of your rhymes, man, they always end on a very positive note. Even in the first poem, right? We see your thunderstorm, we drink your tsunamis, right? A mother's work is never done. Listen, my mom continues to work. You know what I mean? Continues to work for me, right? We are pieces of your humanity. There's something very, very real about that, right? But it's still, when you look at it the way you do, right? Because then you bring it back in the next poem, you say, don't be as plastic as a Barbie doll, right? You can be a mansion or a yacht, right? You can be whatever you want in the land of kind of free, like kind of free. Like that was just work, right? You're what you can be. I love that sentiment, right? And you make sure that you are as positive and as uplifting as possible, Eddie. And we appreciate you always for being that. Truly, truly appreciate you. Make sure you are plugging in with Poetastic. All right. Coming up next, all the way out in the Pacific Northwest, this incredible artist is about to bring balance to our week. Whether he has an instrument or he is using his voice, his artistry, his being as an instrument, trust and believe he's about to put in the work. The one and only Joski C in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you, Joski. It's always great to see you, man. Come on, take it away.
Hey, Elemental. Hey, everybody. Coming through? Okay. So
like a rock star as always, Joski. Come on.
Oh. So I have a few short poems tonight. And the first is a new haiku, Ashtray. Smoke rises and swirls from the ashtray of LA. The future unfurls. And this is also new, City of Angels and Pharisees. City of angels and Pharisees, where mansions burn like kindling, and everyone's lungs are smoking, where the dispossessed meet homelessness in cardboard boxes, exhausted, not extinguished, as ember meteorites bomb and ignite. Pharisees join refugees, while angels wrap their wings around anyone they can. And this is a very old piece called Under the Eiger. Under the Eiger, pain like an auger beneath her breast, ripping her chest with every breath, she cannot rest. Drugs can't cure us. Doctors can't help us. Drugs can't cure us. I watch helpless into the night, deep into deepest night. Under the Jungfrau, we pray for a cure. At least for fairness, a trade, me for her. She is a gift this world can't live without. The music, her laughter. She dances her life with a heart so huge she gives to everyone. This searing knife won't let her rest. Her too big heart, her tearing chest.
Like, I don't know how you speak so softly, but still manage to take people's breath away, Joski. Damn. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Joski.
Good stuff, Josie. I like those first two ones, especially being out here in LA and having to smell the air out here for the first 2 or 3 days of the fire. Oh, it was sickening.
Yeah, take care of yourself out there, Abraham. Really. Yeah, that was just wonderful work. Just your usual compassionate, beautiful self.
That last piece was pretty haunting, Joski, poignant and haunting.
Great assessment, Jedi Master. And I think that's just, like if Joski had an AKA, it would be that, right? He just, again, her too big heart is what you said near the end. And I think that also could go to describe you, Joski. Your heart is so big and you put so much of it into your work. We always feel it, right? And the first one, shout out to new shit too. From the ashtray of LA, that's a rough one. The city of angels of Pharisees, right? Where mansions burn like kindling, right? Where the disposed meets homelessness. Pharisees join refugees. This something about when wealthy, affluent people lose things, like their grief doesn't even feel the same sometimes. Still a loss. And I'm not, taking anything away from what people lose. It just seems different. It just seems different, right? You mentioned in the third piece, right? Under the Eiger, she is a gift the world can't live without. Shout out Deneen. I know you feel like that about the Queen Deneen. And listen, you got to know that we feel like that about you too, Joski. We appreciate all that you do and continuing to do it with us. Please take care of yourself. All right, let's keep it going. Coming up next, oh my goodness. It's rare I don't get a chance to hear this cat all the time, but he is always in the wings. He's always here supporting the community. Shout out the educators in the building. Love when this cat comes through. Listen, the one and only Professor Platinum Doug Silver is in the building. Man, it's always great to see you. Let these folks know where they can find you. Come on, Doug, take it away.
Thank you, Elemental, so much. Great to see you, RMT, and all the poets, as always. Monica and I just spent a few weeks in Italy over the holidays. I know, lucky us. And I wrote these 3 short pieces while we were there. This first one's entitled Airborne. In Venice, glimpsing the Bridge of Sighs, tired tourists exhale their ennui without knowing why. And this next one is from Florence, and it's called S-Curves. Shape-shifting serpentine squirming through the Renaissance way, searching for air pockets like those boys in the cave. The tides rising, the times shrinking, like a swelling of the swell and the not so swell. And this last one I call Lit. New Year's Eve in Rome, everything is all lit up, and so are we. Even the stop sign is drunk. Thanks, everybody. Thanks a lot.
I mean, even the stop sign is drunk. Everybody getting tossed. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Doug Silver.
Great job.
Bravo.
Thank you, everybody.
Even the street sign was drunk.
Yeah, just absolutely just perfect pinpoint descriptive phrases there. Just like perfect little miniature carvings. Thank you, Michael.
Firenze, my second home.
Lucky.
I think I've run into that stop sign, vice versa, also.
All right, Paul. Some of us keep crashing into it all the time, right?
Hey, listen, sometimes I don't know if the stop sign is seeing me tossed or if I'm seeing the stop sign tossed. Like, I don't know. Sometimes it just says keep going. It doesn't even say stop, right? But listen, I love the fact that even, and shout out to Queen, even in the fact that, you know, when you're on vacation and you're doing what you do, creativity still goes with you. And you still find time to make sure that you are breathing life into your artistry, right? The tourists exhale their own weed without knowing why, like, right? The shape-shifting serpentine, the tides are rising and the time is shrinking. The time is shrinking. Something about how you do what you do, sir. You are such an integral part of what we do in this community. I cannot thank you enough, sir. Truly appreciate you. Shout out to educators in the building, man. That dude's something else. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, truly. Let's keep it going. Coming up next, we just heard this gentleman. I see him rocking his Dominguez Hills sweatshirt. This cat all the way on the West Coast, man. Such an incredible poet. Been rocking with this cat for years. He has such a distinct style. The one and only Abraham Kamani in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you, man. Always great to see you. Come on, man. Take it away.
Good evening, Elemen2al and everybody else here on the Neo. It's great to hear the voices who have came before me, and also be great to hear the voices who will come after me. So I'm going to share a haiku, a tanka, and 2 short pieces. And real quickly, I just want to say that it is not lost to me that this inauguration this year happens to be on Martin Luther King Day, which I think MLK would be turning in his grave. You know, I just wanted to put that out there, you know, how ironic. Anyways, the haiku. To tell you the truth, the right side of history will be on the left. Here's my tanka. Convicted felon received a lengthy sentence, 4 years in office, remanded to the White House. Grave injustice has been served. All right. And this one is called Comfort of Justice Denied. Is it not very fair to spend my labor days rising and kneading dough to bake a loaf of bread, heating and curdling milk to press a block of cheese, if all I will receive is a slice or a crumb? Shredded compensation that will melt in my mouth once released from my hands, leaving me still hungry while cooking and waiting, serving countless tables, whole grilled cheese sandwiches, as my gut growls louder at an increasing speed, impatiently, angry, wildly tossing, turning, restlessly protesting the emptiness it feels when denied the comfort of justice on my plate in all of its fullness. And the last one is in regards to the fires that were taking place throughout LA County last week. It's called Angels County Trauma Center of Hell. Mother Nature's been a bitch since Genesis, a sweltering hot whore who has syphilis, spreading bacteria at an all-time high. When she reached her climax, it came up the sky. We smelt and felt the wrath of her orgasmic gases nearby and afar, wreaking havoc, burning many temples, public and private. Penicillin could not make her be quiet. The cities did not have enough in supply. Human beings were left to untimely die. Thousands of livelihoods have turned into waste. Survivors of her wildfires are displaced in Angels County Trauma Center of Hell, uncertain of where in heaven they will dwell. If God will give them a clear revelation of a brand new home in this grand young nation, with a prosperous business rebuilt from scratch after clearing miles and piles of ash and trash. Will Angels Golden Stewards better manage the earth's resources to reduce the chances of the prized possession of lives being lost? Or will they still refuse to cover the cost? Let Mother Nature's disease go untreated. Watch and comfort history be repeated.
Oh, okay. I see you about that business this evening, huh? Got you. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Abraham Kamara.
Excellent.
Bravo.
Just
Oh.
excellent.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, there were some seriously fiery lines.
Oof. Great work, Abraham.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know, the world is watching LA burn. The world is watching, right? And we don't hear enough from the real people who are affected by this. So thank you. I'm not saying that you speak for the entire LA County. I'm not saying that, right? And all the Angelinos. I'm not saying that, right? However, your perspective is important, right? Because you've been out there for years, man, right? You even went to the motherland and came back and you still rocking, right? So you've seen it grow and build, and now you've seen it burn. Even though Santa Ana comes through every year and burn, baby, burn, right? But I appreciate your perspective, right? In all of your poems, right? The right side of history will be on the left, unfortunately, right? Take you, what is it? You leave home, take you 1, 2, 3 lefts in a row. Where do you find yourself? Right back at home. The waves of justice have been severed, unfortunately. Yeah, right? Relentlessly protesting. That's just what we do as poets. Mother Nature's been a bitch since Genesis. Listen, you better be careful talking about Mother Nature, because Father Time will come and pick you up, man. Like, I don't know, that dude's undefeated. Like, you can't box with the guy, you know what I mean? her orgasmic gases, right? The cities do not have enough in supply. I've been hearing that recently on the news. They say, oh, the misuse of resources, and that's why it's burning, because the water and all that stuff. Listen, man, when it's for you, ain't nothing that you can do with it, right? Nothing that you can do. A clear revelation of a brand new home in this grand young nation. Listen, some people use fire, right? They call it scorched earth, right? To wipe away the old to make room for the new, right? We hope that that's not the case, but we're seeing some very tragic things. Make sure you stay safe, Abraham. And if they tell you it's time to go, man, get the fuck out of Dodge, right? For real. Don't wait. Don't hesitate, man. Get out of Dodge. Take care of yourself and your family, man. Appreciate you, truly. All right, coming up next. Listen, we have a new voice in the building, folks. This artist was going to come and rock with us, right? And now they have come back. Listen, welcome to the greatest community in the world, right? I'm not going to attempt to say your name because I don't want to butcher it. So make sure you do let us know how to pronounce your name correctly. And without giving us your address, tell us where in the world that you're plugging in from this evening, please.
Sure. My name is Asari. Can you guys hear me?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. I am calling in from Weehawken, New Jersey.
Jersey in the building. Listen, listen.
Woo!
We are grateful that you're here. Welcome to the greatest community in the world. You see how this has been going, Asari. Let these folks know where they can find you. Welcome to the greatest community in the world. Please take it away.
Yeah, I've been calling in, listening to y'all, and it's wonderful. I'm going to attempt to do some comedy, so bear with me. Okay. Hi, my name is Asari. I am the child of immigrants. And I don't know if it's all parents that are like this, or only immigrant parents are like this, or only Indian immigrant parents that are like this, but my parents approach the world with an elevated sense of paranoia. Like, my mother will see something crazy on the news, call me up, and implicate me in the crime, not as the perpetrator, but as the victim. Example one. Ring, ring. Phones still sound like that, right? Yeah. Ring, ring. Hello? Asari, there is a flasher in the Brooklyn. A flasher? Okay. I haven't seen the flasher, Mommy, and I rarely go to the Brooklyn, so I think I'm okay. Oh, you do not think the flasher will find you? Flashes will find you. Flashes flash. They want to show you his bits and bobs. No one's showing me their bits and bobs, Bubby. Okay, be careful. Okay, all right, yeah. Did you guys see on the news when the condominium collapsed in Florida? My mother saw it. Ring, ring. Asari, are you okay? Yes. Why? The building collapsed. Yes, but that was in Florida, Mommy, and I don't live in Florida. I know, but they have the high rise. You have the high rise. Yes, I do have the high rise, but this building's pretty structurally sound, so I think okay. Okay, be careful. The thing is, now I'm developing a sense of paranoia about weird stuff. Like, stay with me here. I am paranoid about semen, and I'll tell you why. I watch a show called Law and Order SVU. It's a show about sex crimes. Every episode, they catch the guy because he left his semen at the crime scene. I mean, every episode. This show will have you believing that semen is everywhere. I believe it. Semen is everywhere. Semen is everywhere, you guys. Every surface you touch when you go through your day, at some point, had semen on it. You don't believe me, right? Okay. The chair you're sitting in now, semen. The subway turnstile, semen. The barista who made your coffee this morning, semen. I mean, at some point, either his or her hand touched a surface with semen residue on it, or someone shot a hot load right into their face. Something happened. Anyway, so semen is everywhere. Am I the only one who's paranoid about semen, you think? Ring, ring. Blackout. That's it.
Now that's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what we needed, yo. Unmute yourself. Give it up for us. Sorry.
That was hilarious. Oh my God.
Wash your hands, man.
That was real good. It was funny.
After all that pouring up.
Clever.
I'm so I found this
Yay.
community, you guys. You guys have been so awesome. I've been listening in for the past couple of weeks. My first time performing that. So thank you so much for giving me a space to do that.
Yeah, your timing was excellent. So
It's hilarious. Hilarious.
Yeah, you tapped into a universal subconscious fear I think everybody has.
I'm not the only one. Good.
but I definitely, I don't think you have to be Indian for that mom thing. I think a lot of people all around the world get that one, but I definitely see that.
You know, comedy, I think, is one of the hardest art forms. I think it's even harder than poetry.
Oh, I don't know. I can't write beautiful sentences.
No,
like you.
no, comedy. No, you're going after a very high art form, because it wasn't until Netflix did international comedy for the very first time on earth where you got to hear a comic from Venezuela, from Argentina, from Peru, and they did this thing, and it was fascinating to hear because the humor is not really what's funny. It's what makes people funny in different countries with different cultures, that you hear the laughter as much as you do the comedy, as much as you do whether or not they're going to get killed or not killed for saying and doing something. So in that regard, you know, I mean, we're just basically all comics, but none of us know how to get to the punchline. So if you can teach us something, maybe we'll start. I wrote my first funny death poem the other day.
Ooh.
Hold on, CC. Stop right there, damn it. Funny death poem. We're gonna get to CC in just a minute. That dude's amazing. Listen, there's a couple of traditions around here. Sorry. We pop the cherry, baby. Pop the cherry, baby. But let me be the first to, number one, shout out Moms for her phone calls. Moms is hilarious, okay? Have you seen the man in the Brooklyn? Like he's showing you your bits and bobs. Like, that was hilarious. Shout out Moms. That's just hilarious. Let me be the first to tell you that you have officially fucked up. Officially. Because now we need you to be here every single week to provide said comedy relief. Right? Because listen, for my folks who've been here for a while, when was the last time you remember a comic being in our space? Listen, it's been a while. You are a breath of fresh air. We are thankful that you have come. Your jokes are crazy. Again, your mom is hilarious. The accent that you slipped into, money. A friend of mine and I, shout out Ghost Rider, always talk about the parallels between comics and poets, right? Our punchlines just come out different, but we still seek the same ending, right? We still seek to make an impact on our audience. And I'm telling you, Asari, you did exactly that. Thank you for showing up, for coming through, for bringing your energy. Make sure you plug your information into the chat so we can stalk you and tell you, you got to be here on Thursday. Just don't tell Mom, because then she'll start talking about, what are these people calling you? Appreciate you truly, really. That shit was just funny, man. They have the high rise. You have the high rise. That shit was just funny. Good stuff. Appreciate you truly. All right. Coming up next, we're gonna go to, let's see, a couple more. I don't see my man, but we'll go to a couple more, and then we'll go to halftime. Coming up next, listen, author of some incredible books, right? Four Crescents, Black Calculus, Evaporating Rage. This incredible former fencer pushcart nominee is just one of the most incredible writers that I've been around in my entire existence in poetry. And he just continues to do it. He has the only voice that sounds like his, the texture of his voice and how he does it prepare yourself for the one and only Norm Mathematics in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you. It is always great to see you, Maestro. Please take it away.
Gracias, Papa. Thank you so much. Sorry, you got me checking now where I put my hands. Be careful now. Okay, so I got these three pieces, and it doesn't have nothing to do with nothing, but it has something to do with everything. What's going on? Here we go. Elders become ancestors. Life nominates them. Heaven elects them. Prodigal daughters and prodigal sons look for the door that welcomes them home. An ocean of tears, a heavenly concoction with the right pH. Not too much salt to raise blood pressure. No waves in this ocean. The tide is changing up. Eyes closed, see eternity as if it were yesterday. Next piece. This is as close as I'm gonna get to nothing. And this is titled Galaxy Abyss. Words walk me from a whim to a whiff in the winds, to where the sound of the silent E splashes in the breeze of your waving tongue. R's run like rivers and railroads. Ferrocarriles go in all directions like Wayne Shorter blue notes, spin spirals. Webs spin, drunken monkeys see and monkeys do from notion to motion. Words flash thunder, throw down thumbs, drums beat on a virtual screen. Put it down on some paper, pen, pencil, fingernail in the sky. A crescent moon hangs over a midnight horizon. A word like an arc of light connects the 2 points I try to marry till death do us parts of the same circle, the same pueblo, the same tribe of hearts and minds speak hidden truths instead of transparent lies. Fingers flash, bring the same fury, desperate to cross the abyss of ignorance, especially when the hearing don't listen. Speaking is babble, unless the words string together like this. Last piece. In case of emergency, call 911. Epigraph. What's the nature of your emergency? Recording. My house is under fire, burning up from the inside out. Roofs about to fall in. Don't send the police. They won't need bullets. They'll bring gasoline. Once they see that I am the house, watch me burn. Turn off their body cams, say they did all they could. Don't call an ambulance. Call the medical examiner instead. All occupants burned beyond recognition. Nobody saw that I was the house. Peace.
Nobody saw that I was the house? Come on, Math. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Mathematics.
Oh, yeah.
Bravo.
Always.
Yeah, I
Just
like the way
awesome.
that one
Bravo.
worked. That one worked. Got work in it.
Yeah, Norm, I see more and more. You have this way of working with just the essential things of perception in a way. Kind of reminds me a little of, a lot of the stuff you can read that gets that's survived from Rumi, but your work is just on that dealing with essentials. It takes a kind of a really intense sensitivity to do that. And I just keep admiring how you accomplish these poems more and more.
Thank you, Jedi Master. I love your work too. I'm looking forward.
His intense sensitivity is absolutely right. Like Jedi Master's commentary is amazing. Is absolutely right. Just I am the house. Watch me burn. What? 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 What's the nature of your emergency? Recording. They'll bring bullets. They'll bring gasoline. I feel that. I feel the heat coming off of that. In your first poem, right? Elders become ancestors. In Ocean of Tears, right? Heaven elects them, right? Eternity, right? As if it were yesterday, right? See eternity as if were yesterday, right? In Galaxy, listen, you start rolling those R's and rivers and railroads like drunken monkey seed, monkey do. Like I haven't heard that in a long time, man. I love that. A word like an arc of light. Till death do us parts of the same circle. Listen. Listen. Hidden truths instead of transparent lies. Sir, what you do is masterful, and we always look forward to you sharing it with us. Truly, truly appreciate you. Make sure you plug in with mathematics, man. Again, shout out the educators in the building. Another great one. Appreciate you. All right. I don't see the homie from across the pond, so we'll go one more and then we'll pass it to RMT. Coming up next. Listen, all love and blessings as he's healing. This incredible gentleman, our resident piano man, is something like an enigma, right? Come across a lot of artists and poets in our time, but this dude's just one of a kind, man. I just don't know how he did it or what planet he's from. Maybe he's the resident alien. I don't know. We like to call him CC, our Chagra in the building. Come on, CC. Let these folks know where they can find you, man. It's been a while, but it's always great to see you, CC. Come on, man. Take it away.
All right. I love you all. Thank you very much for the love. And yeah, it's been October 27th. She died, and I'm out of the house. The piano is in storage. I'm in a basement in a house on a friend's and at the top of a mountain, which is trippy, but that's going to end too. So this is just a layover to clear my head. So there's only one little 1x2 window, but if you go outside, it's rolling hills. It's trippy, man. It's a bohemian house. So anyway, I'm gonna do something. This deserves a story. The East Mountain House Poetry. Went to a art gallery, and this woman, Kevi, and her partner came up with a vision to open a place where people can go to die naturally, like a Zen house. And artists came out of the woodwork. The community got together. 700 people came to the opening, and they only just got one little house with 2 beds, and that's all. They're just starting out. And I went to this thing, and I said, that's where I write. I write on that line of what your vision is. We go here to die. And I said, I'm going to write a book. And they said, okay. And so I wrote it, met with the founder, met with the other founder. And then, you know, my friend dies in my best friend's arms. And then we're on our way to the memorial, and Kathleen happens. And then I go back and I'm kicking in and I'm writing this book. And I just finished the most recent draft with the thing. And there is one funny one, and it may or may not be that one. And so I'm going to read that. But I want you to know that these poems are going to be sitting on a table next to a bed with people who are coming to see this person who knows and is willing to die naturally. So that's the environment. And I've never in 40 years written a poetry that was put into a scene. And when I first wrote these, I couldn't do them without almost crying. It's trippy. It's a different thing that's happening. So here's one. It's called I Love You. This seems like a soul simulation. I'm both with you and feel distant. I'm noticing the value of each heartbeat. I hear you leave. I hand each one a daisy. My tears smile to wave bye. There's a comedian between us. Really, no one's there, but it's still funny. We both die laughing here so hard. Hurry up and please, kill me first. But you were always faster. And I learned more still beside you. I'm pissed off you're so happy. And then, right then, you faked your death. I had no choice, and so I killed you. I used this poem at the trial, pled not guilty and set free. I love you. I'm forever grateful. I got away with murder. Gotcha. That's what you get for trying to die on me. And this is one of my favorite poems I've ever written. It's back from '08. It's called The Free Thinker Would. So you could decide if that last one was funny or not. And so we rest the mind. Be whole with equilibrium's water. Gather up the sky and stand upon the roots of gravity. And so we breathe the becoming moments and let them go. Grow to the size of a seed's dream come true and honestly embrace our own mortal gifts' ends. And so we tend to time and all its living fictions, navigate the fears that occupy our world, and dine on being spirits without measure, without each our souls divided. And so we contemplate our fluid fixations and wonder why the prison is, to exhaust its selfish walls of control, transcend hatreds and controlling reasons. And so we realize the fuel of our delusional drives, embrace the gratitude of laughter and its hunger, to spring all the winters of living depressions, owning choice of mind. And so we heal the never-ending lessons that are never really lost. And we might face the glory of our own sacred rot to become eternally undone. And so we soil the world of children born to understand that all is not sand and dusts fall. And so it rains and burns and grows and turns and gives and lives epochs like seconds. And so we dream to think we know more than nature's offer. And so you are, in flesh, one being, born to occupy your passing. Be leaves of deeds a wave could vanquish. Oh, will, to be will of choice, of will you be this dance with dying, loving here. And what freedom of thoughts abound. Now free and freed to ask. Yes, ask. Yes, ask important knowledge. What have we forgotten? The free thinker would.
I don't appreciate that, sir. I was all in my fields, and he went.
Ruined it all with his joke.
So give it up for CC Oshagro.
That was wonderful.
Hey.
Wonderful.
Yeah, CC.
Yeah, so glad to see you back here, Cece. You know, that first piece does what only poems can really do. It was balancing anger and love in the same piece.
Yeah.
That's not easy to do at all. And you can't do that kind of in a regular everyday speech or regular everyday living out your emotions. It's really in something like a poem that creates that um other place where it becomes possible to do those things. Your
Right.
second piece, CC, that's just a, quintessential CC Arshagre. There's so many wisdoms in that poem. I can't keep up with it. Thanks for
That
coming
was
back, and I hope
when
things are working out good for you. You know, you're a pro at brinksmanship, so I have no worries about you, really.
Yeah, I don't see him staying away because he's coming to us from the basement of the mountain cabin. But I also, like what Paul's saying, I love hearing you read poetry. Like I love hearing the musicians read poetry because it just gives me another like facet into your lives and your brains and your hearts. And that one was so interesting when you were like, you can decide if you think this is funny later. And I totally get that. Like, funny, yeah, sad, angry, loving, all these things, but then there's this edge. And I get that, and I think that makes for good artwork. So I'm glad to see you, and I'm glad you're here.
Thank you. Thank you all. So the next 2 weeks I'm going to be in a friend's house. This woman who took care of my mother the last 10 years of her life, once a week she picked her up, and it was the most important part of my mother's last 10 years, is now 92, and her son is watching her, but he needs a break. So I said, let me watch her for a while. So I'm going to be
Okay.
in this other house for a while doing a sort of companion thing. And then back here, and then I have till the end of March to find another place to live. Move number 25. Good luck in the arts.
Listen, you know, it makes sense, right? The earth is constantly moving on its 23.5-degree axis. Artwork is constantly moving, and as artists, we are constantly moving, right? Stagnation is basically death, right? And I love how you do this, Cece. You're the only cat I know who can do this, right? And you go back to what I was saying to Asari earlier, right? There is such a beautiful parallel between comedy and poetry. And then you throw love in there, like an allspice, like five spice. You throw love in there, and it's like, damn it, I thought I knew it. I thought I had it. And then you bring your heart and you put it on the table. There's something so real about that, CC. Something so real, right? Seems like a soul simulation. This is maybe simulacra. I don't know. This is absolutely real though. The value in each heartbeat. I hear you leave, right? I'm pissed off. You're so happy. I got away with murder. Gotcha. Stand upon the roots of gravity, right? Transcend hatred for controlling reasons. Embrace the gratitude of laughter and its hunger. Oh, will, to be the will of choice, will you be this dance? There's just, I can hear your music, just like Joski. I can hear your music. I'm so familiar with your music. I can hear your music in your voice, right? And at this point, even without the piano, your teeth have become the keys, right? You are the instrument, sir. The universe is playing you. Truly, truly appreciate you. Doesn't matter where you are. Doesn't matter where you are. We hear you. We're with you. We appreciate you. Woo! Perfect time. Listen, I am going to pass it to the dopest tech in the Zoom verse, the one and only Ron Mark Thompson, aka RMT. If you're not down with RMT by now, damn it, you should be all the way up in the BX. What's good, Ron? How you feeling this evening?
I'm feeling okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, Elemental, for your great hosting here. Shout out to your mom as well. Cece mentioned his mom, and I know you told me that you're also helping out your mom at the moment. So we really appreciate your commitment. Shout out to all the daughters and sons. And yeah, interesting remark about, hearing Cece, his music through his voice, because so far our regular musicians haven't sang yet with instruments, but instead we got Asari and comedy, so Asari, we really thank you, that's what I love about this place, diverse and different styles and everything, Thursdays are just great. So thank you, Elemental, thank you, community, thank you, everyone. So for those who don't know me, I am Ron Mark Thompson with the New York Poets Cafe. I'm zooming in from the Bronx, very cold New York City metro area. Our cafe right now is closed. We are in a reconstruction period with the city of New York. They are the ones who gave us the grant and are taking care of the reconstruction itself. And once we reopen the cafe, it will be modern. It will have an elevator. It will have expanded performance space, workshop space, everything that we didn't have until a year ago when we closed will be there. But we are continuing our programs online and in person throughout the city. So do not worry, we will be, we will continue our many different offerings, whether they are free or whether they are ticketed. We are here for you, for our great community. On that note, Elemental did mention the New Regan Bowery Slam. We host that every Monday at the Bowery Poetry Club. J Rose and Luna Rosa are alternating hosting duties there. That's 6:30 p.m. If you want to get tickets, you can go to the Bowery's Eventbrite page or go to our calendar, and there is a link on our calendar linking you to theirs. And then all the Monday winners are invited to compete in the final Friday Slam at the Puerto Rican Traveling Theater, which is in Midtown Manhattan in New York City. That one takes place on the final Friday of the month. Next one is January 31st, 9:30 p.m. Tony McPherson is hosting, and Luna will be at the music controls for that one. And you can get your tickets there at neweurekan.org/FFS, which stands for Final Friday Slam, or you can get them at the box office at the theater. Elemental also mentioned our open mics currently on Wednesdays at the Lois Cider Center, 9th Street in the Lower East Side, which is not very far from where our cafe is located. Supreme hosts every second and fourth Wednesday of the month. Next one is this coming Wednesday on January 22nd. And then our Women Orator Wednesday is on the first Wednesday of the month. Next one is February 5th. Now, this flyer still has Felicia Kate in it. Actually, today was announced at the International Center of Photography open mic. We, the cafe, co-host there. It was her last day at the New Eurekan Poets Cafe. We appreciate all that she has done, for us. She hosted in the cafe and at the Lois Cider Center, and she also guest hosted one of our Final Friday Slams. She will be transitioning into many other exciting projects. I recommend you follow her at Rise Felicia. For example, she curates and hosts workshops at the Langston Hughes House in Harlem. Elemental and I visited there, I think a year or 2 years ago, and they do have workshops every Saturday, 2 p.m. So definitely continue following her. She is amazing in what she does, teaching, hosting, incredible. Next month, we will be new hosted by somebody's mama. And if in case you do not know who somebody's mama is, she is our Grand Slam champion winner of last year, 2 weeks ago at the Apollo stages in Harlem. That's where she competed and won the Grand Slam. And she has agreed to become our new Women Orator Wednesday host. And then Brian the Motel guy, who many of you may know from the La Sala de Pepe open mics, our Brooklyn open mic, and our Bowery Slams on Mondays, he will continue to host the open mics at the International Center of Photography. The next that one was just earlier today in person in Manhattan. Next one will be 2 months from now. So we welcome both to the team, and we thank Felicia for everything that she has done here at the New York Poets Cafe. Also, Charlie Vasquez, who recently joined us a few months ago, last year, he is continuing his workshops, online meditation and stream of consciousness poetry, first and third Saturday of the month. Next one is this Saturday, the 18th, 12 noon Eastern time via Zoom, $10. I have some good and bad news for next month. Next month, the first Saturday in February, we will not be holding that workshop, but to make up for it on the third Saturday of the month in February, we will be he will host the workshops for free. So if you tried to get to this workshop, but you haven't been able to, whether it was schedule or whether it was finances, check it out next month on the third Saturday in February. His workshop will be free before we return to ticketed the following month. So thank you, Charlie, for that. Teenage open mic, that one is free, but you have to be between the ages of 13 or 19. So if you have kids, if you have nieces, nephews, and if you are in New York City on Saturday the 25th, which is not this weekend, but next weekend, we will be at P&T Knitwear Bookstore with Rightopia Lab. That is a collaboration with them. 5 p.m. on Saturday, the 25th of January, not too far where the cafe is located. So we have many more programs going on. Alan Gary mentioned Tony McPherson as his mentor, slam mentor, because Tony not only hosts the Final Friday slams, but he also hosts the slam workshops on the second Tuesday of every month. And those are free thanks to a grant from Poets and Writers, an organization here in New York City. Those are very sought after workshops. Next month is already sold out. I saw Allen already signed up for that one as well, and I believe Dr. C. Page has attended a few as well. So if you want to, learn more how to write and perform for the slam in slam style, check those out. You can still get tickets for the March and April slam workshop. If you go to our online calendar, newregan.org/calendar, you will see those workshops. There you can also see our online open mics here on Thursday, as Elemen2al mentioned, to get on the 20 guaranteed spots 24 hours prior. Before Thursday, meaning Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, you may sign up for an artist RSVP ticket. But if you didn't get a ticket and you still want to perform, let us know to be on the good luck round list. We already have 4 performers on that list. So in case you have not yet let Elemen2al or me know, let us know and we'll add you to it. And last but not least, as Elemen2al also mentioned, we do rely on donations because not all the tickets and not all the grants pay for all of our programs, such as tonight, which is free. So if you want to help us out, you can go to newregan.org/contribute. You can send us any small or big donation, whatever you can afford. Thank you to those who did donate along with their artist RSVP tickets sign up for tonight. We appreciate you. We appreciate everyone. If you cannot afford to donate, we still want you here to be part of our community, to participate or to watch, like Azari, who watched us for a few weeks and then she got the bug and like, now let me perform comedy, and we really appreciate it. It was amazing. So on that note, let us get back to our performers, and that is actually a great segue because our next performer, Nicole Johnson, also joined us recently, and I believe last week was her first time performing with us. And it appears that Nicole is not in the cold, wintry New York City metro area, but it looks like she's zooming in from a very warm beach. I am so envious. I don't know if this is a real or virtual background, but you are just making me longer for, for warmer weather. So Nicole, if you can unmute yourself, I welcome you back to the open mic. Here we are, everyone. Welcome back, Nicole Johnson.
Thank you, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to do this. I am really, really new to being out here and expressing these thoughts that have been in my head forever. So while I have an IG and Instagram or whatever, it's really just a whole bunch of pictures of my dogs. So I don't have any poetic content or anything like that. But hey, if you want to see a whole bunch of pictures of my dogs or what I go and eat, that's great too. But I am starting to build this. I have two things that I'm going to share tonight. I think they're pretty much on topic for what we're discussing today. So the first one is called Death and Grief. Death is an inevitable part of life, but no book or pamphlet can truly prepare you for the wait. We learn in biology how life begins, but no one teaches us how life ends. It's like the parts of history that schools conveniently skip, the messy, uncomfortable truths we're left to navigate on our own. We acknowledge that all things must die, but we avoid the conversation about how to deal with it. Instead, we stumble blindly through the aftermath, left to forge our own path through the chaos, paths that can consume us, leaving us a hollow version of ourselves. Zombies are real. People try to comfort you, but their words often land like shards of glass. Everything happens for a reason. It was a part of God's plan. Cliches don't ease the pain, they only magnify its ache. There's a hole in my heart that no words can fill. Not until time works its quiet, relentless magic. Understand in theory that death comes for us all, but no understanding prepares you for the reality. Loss can spiral you into a tailspin, a dizzying descent into despair that feels impossible to escape. Grief is a hurricane, unpredictable, unrelenting, and all you can do is hold on till it passes, learning to navigate the world forever changed. That was the first one. And for the second piece, it's a little bit lighter, but full disclosure, today is my wedding anniversary. We've been together, we've been married for 27 years. So this kind of is a tribute to my husband and our life together. And the title is Marriage is Not for the Weak. 27 years is a long time. Their entire adult life, though they often still don't feel like adults. Husband and wife, king and queen, friend and frenemy, together, they navigated the roller coaster of life. Moments of pure joy were often followed by moments of pure hell. Marriage was not for the weak. It was a lifelong commitment. Divorce is not an option, the pastor said. But how could that be true when the divorce rate is so high? Meet in the middle. Does that mean 100% or 200%? Some days it felt like a staggering effort. Marriage was not for the weak. They vowed to stay together in sickness and in health. But what happens when sickness turns into death? The judgmental voices chimed in. 27 years? Where are your kids? But it wasn't their purpose. Why is that so hard for others to understand? Their purpose was to care for children who were not their own. They helped raise children not born of their blood, but that didn't diminish the importance of their role. They were the village that every child deserved. Marriage was not for the weak. There are days when the air felt heavy and suffocating, thick with anger and mistrust. Sleepless nights gave way to mourning filled with silent tears. She wanted to talk to him, but he couldn't hear. He wanted to reach her, but she couldn't see him. What was left when the words failed and the connection faltered? Touch? No, even that betrayed them. Hot and cold, fire and ice, burning and freezing, all at once. Marriage was not for the weak. Yet, despite the seemingly hopeless moments, they never gave up. Because after every storm, there was sunshine. What didn't kill them only made them stronger. They reminded themselves to hold on. The reasons she loved him, the ways he loved her in return. Marriage was not for the weak, but it made them stronger. Thank you.
Now see, it's like that, boy. It's just dripping with all that love sauce. Listen, unmute yourself. Give it up for Nicole Johnson.
Hello.
Nice job, Nicole. Really powerful work there.
It's not just some love sauce, some special love sauce to get through that.
Yeah, I felt so many of the things you were saying, like just, I don't know, all of it. And you just delivered it so clearly and calmly. And yeah, it's like bringing the pain on this just quiet little platter for us. And I just really connected. So thank you. Really nice job.
Thank you. And I just want to say that you all, being in this group, even though like I've only been here a few times, just the feeling here and the vibe that I get is so welcoming and so, calming that I can say these words, like I said, that have been bottled up and just express, the ways that I'm feeling. And it helps me, like it helps my mental health. It helps me just, get it out of all of these things that I've been feeling. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah, that's all I got for today.
Yeah, well done. I really loved it. And we're glad you're here and you feel safe. That's what it's all about. For sure.
I echoed that. And by the way, Nicole, no pressure on building your Instagram profile. You can always tell everyone to come here. That's where they can see and hear you, right? So don't worry about the social media. Just keep coming on Thursdays, and then we get to see the authentic you and everything. Keep coming. That's amazing. Beautiful.
Yeah, folks, this is the work, right? I say it all the time. We have a great, fun time, writing to themes and, writing about dancing and rainbows and flowers, right? But when you have to dig into it and you talk about the things that really dig into your body, dig into your heart, that's the work, right? Shout out, Brother Los. Happy anniversary. 27 years is a very, very long time, really. And to see you still have a happiness and a joy and a sense of belonging into your marriage is very, very key, right? Listen, the entire community caught that, what you said. Zombies are real, okay? Listen, zombies are real. Marriage is not for the weak. It's not for the weak. It's not for the weak. I'm telling you, it's not for the weak. If you are not sure, do not tread in dangerous waters, because you will lose limbs. You will lose limbs. Don't do it if you're not ready. Divorce is not an option, right? The divorce rates are crazy high, but it's worth it, right? They are the village, folks. Burning and freezing all at once. They are the village. They're crazy incredible. Again, shout out Brother Los. They're incredible. I appreciate you so very much. And I've told you already, welcome to the greatest community in the world. Truly appreciate you. Listen, before we move on, make sure y'all show your love to RMT, right? That dude is so integral to what we do and how we do it, all the way to BX. Appreciate you, Ron. Truly, man. Let me shout out a couple folks before we keep it going this evening. Shout out to God, Bob, and Goma, the priestess Oshun. They will not be able to make it this evening. Shout out Steve Romanow in the building. Garland Thompson, what's good? The brother Lantern Carrier, did not see him this evening. Minnie Mars will not be able to make it. Neither will Ray Whitaker. Send all your energy to them. We truly appreciate all them. The good luck round is packed, y'all. Let's keep it going. Coming up next, our Brooklyn representative is here. Storytellers in the building. This incredible artist comes through week after week with some of the most just cerebral stories. And here comes another one. The one and only Markensi is in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you. Always great to see you. Please take it away.
Find me here. Didn't know a goat had to die to make grandma's dish so delicious. Filleted meat, marinated in herb and spice, onion, garlic, salt, pepper, clove, thyme. Hand griddled, embracing black char. Simmer in oil, sizzling, a snake's hiss. Aroma drew nose from afar. A dinner's delight. A black fur billy goat, eyes staring widely, chewed green, so unaware. Doomed for demise to adorn dinner plates. Prey to the hunter's ritual, age old as time. Sharp blade placed to throat, its red soaked the earth. Thank you.
See what I'm saying? The way that she does this, I could hear the sizzle. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Markensia.
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
Markensia.
Yeah, you gotta give us a trigger warning, Markensia, when you whip out those poems that make my stomach rumble with hunger.
Listen, I love how you describe and you set the tone, right? You set the scene. Like when you mention your ingredients, it's like we can see them, right? And you bring us into the kitchen or into the cooking space with you, right? And it's something very, very powerful and magical about that. You said, I didn't know a goat had right? Embracing the black char, pray to the hunter's ritual. I think that is so powerful, right? Because, so often nowadays we're just used to going to the store and like, oh, there's meat. We buy it, it's already clean, it's done. We just cook it, right? But when you have to adhere to the hunter's ritual, it's something very different, right? So yeah, I love what the Jedi Master said. You got to give us a trigger warning because the dishes that you create are pretty amazing. We thank you for always sharing those amazing recipes with us. Truly. All right, y'all, let's keep it going. I said the storytellers were in the building. Here comes another one. Coming up next, this incredible artist. Listen, he's got works on works on works. He's got works in the works. I like to call him the Vincent Price of poetry, the one and only Ike Waltz in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you. Ike, always great to see you, sir. Please take it away.
Before I joined, I emptied the pot to pee. I like to fill my time with music. I like my words to rush like a river and shape the unwilling pebbles into jewels of the divine. I like to fill the time I have left with timeless sound to please your mind. It rattles my imagination, which seeks willing sleep every day, just that little deeper. Counting Alka-Seltzer at night, counting raindrops in bits and bytes, counting birds in the windy sky, counting in different languages I understand. As long I still can ignore Foggy Fox nuisance, these square talking heads on TV, enlightened by synchronized spines, rows of fire-colored books advertising Santa Ana winds and wisdom's gloom. And then daily choreographed words promote the latest Latin pharma boom, convincing countless wannabes like me. Yes, I like to stay alive before I die. Oh, yes, I do. Otherwise, I am the wallpaper of a discombobulated nation, and I can see the nothing in our value. But painfully, I will feel it all once I am in hell. The Scotus, that hocus pocus fidibus, 6-3, a balance by politicus diabolicus, playing poker a la precarious, leaking trust. I must, deciding life's reality with a smirk of that lifelong political superiority. Equality is a maze. We all know that it's never about justice, but it is all about winning the case. That's our self-imposed democracy we must obey, paying us with that good boy, well done, yes sir, no sir, obedience, handing us that out-of-date historical chamber pot in which they trained us so well to shit and to pee. Like in the past, dirty hand on my heart. All these countless years of disharmony, life is a politician's politics domain, defining us, the digital mass or the Twitter X mob. But who is the we? Praying to our man-made gods? Are we lost in this equation? What is equality doing anyway when congregating in the restroom, shoulder on shoulder at every pissoir? And in our quarterbacking wisdom, we lick white man's water closet so squeaky clean. Yes, yes, we will not forget to jubilate. We always do, just without any tangible effect. So let it be. Oh, let it be. Wasting words of wisdom. Just let it be. As long as I have my own proverbial pot to pee. Guten Abend, gute Nacht. Mit Rosen bedacht, mit Näglein besteckt. Schlupf unter die Deck. Morgen früh, wenn Gott will, wirst du wieder geweckt. Morgen früh, wenn Gott will, wirst du wieder geweckt. Sleep well, my friends. Thank you.
I mean, after an Ike Waltz lullaby, I think we might all sleep pretty well this evening. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Ike Waltz.
Yes, no, thank you.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, Ike, Europe got ripped off when you came to the United States.
That is such a skip verse. Like he said, Europe got ripped off. Listen, Ike, I don't know how you do what you do, sir. You are tuned into a very specific stream of inspiration. I love it that you can translate it for us. Um, you said you're counting in different languages. You rip poetry in different languages. You sing in different languages. You probably danced in different languages, sir. You're pretty incredible. Yes, I'd like to stay alive before I die. Right? A balance of politicos diabolicos. It's never been about justice. Who is the we praying to our man-made gods? Wasting words of wisdom, just let it be. Sir, there's something so calming, but something so haunting about your voice. Hence the Vincent Price of poetry. That dude's incredible. Appreciate you, man. Truly. Listen. Here comes another one. This incredible artist right here. Listen, I have learned so much from this gentleman over these past few years. Just so very much. I've learned a new aspect of our craft. I've turned my craft even higher in more intensity because of this gentleman. He has taken us so many times to the skip verse and continues to do it and do it and do it incredibly well. The one and only Paul Skiff is in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you. It is always great to see you, Jedi Master. Please take it away.
Well, thanks, Elemental, for another really warm introduction. It's just great to be here again with everybody and, see new people and people who we've been missing come back in tonight. So I'm just going to read part of this long poem because it's too long to read the whole thing. So it's a little bit out of context at the get-go, but maybe you can just get into the poetry. Sounding to be harsh violation, a harrowing ritual of belonging is agreed upon categorically by all of us who consent to serve ourselves into this life through deciding to simply continue. Does a hurricane, pandemic, or multi-vehicle pileup ask us less? Are we to turn ourselves away from knowing the void that can replace our hearts? Would not the scathing, frigid touch of this emptiness forever equip your fear with measure of self-respect dignity requires to be insurmountable by ignorance? Consider the misdirected quest for salvation pursued or resultant from so many of your fellow riders of this tortured orb we claim to need, where somewhere over the strange bow, all the byproducts and leftovers from cosmetic procedures bought by the family of media celebrities were donated in pious earnestness as secondhand parts for the self-esteem clinic called virtual popularity. California's Gang of Wildfires has formed a union to demand shorter workdays from the petroleum lobby. The feral infernos plan soon to join forces in the coalition of symptoms, with every bullet hammered off in the all-American mass shootings. And together, the two manifestations of our self-loathing will found The United States Barbarian Association then throw a party for the Supreme Court's uterus plan. Kim Jong-un and Vladimir Putin join Boko Haram in an atrocity contest lately added into by Menachem Begin and all his predecessors and antecedents. The contest judged by self-appointed Hollywood talent match mogul because the art of aristocratic psychosis should be induced into competition to display the idea that marketing can make money flow from anything at all. A convincing example of atrocity, profitability, and bottom line. Societal well-being is assuaged by the neglect, deprived indifference has for its own vestigial humanity that eliminates impossibility imposed on redemption. So distraction pulls a providence swindle, and humanity is finally forgotten by unfeeling into communal love. But no matter if salvation arises within us from over the strange bow, courageous spiritual longing should still be lauded, cherished, even as we realize ourselves redeemed from the direction of absurdity. For does not our inner light flow thankful through the door that may also be opened by pure, unhuman chance? The phenomenal magnetism called coincidence, or the weird occurrence best unnamed, only experienced as a new, pristine day? Tell me you would not breathe such air with thanks, even if there were nothing to bestow gratitude upon, just a boundary beyond which lays only our limit of knowing. After all, we cannot think, believe, hope, or aestheticize ourselves to grace. However much about that humans are conceited. Somewhere over the strange bow, way up high, Dorothy fondly places that 700 micrograms of LSD directly upon her eyeball, where the minuscule garnish of methamphetamine dilates her eyes, tiny capillaries, to the width of the Midtown Tunnel. And the world rushes out, and the universe rushes in, where aspiration to bliss and ownership of unimaginable limit are conceits in an egoless dimension. Somewhere over the strange bow is happening this instant, tucked between two pages, whir in the hard drive. Darkness behind the closet door, asleep in the left slot of the light socket, in 1 second of blank screen on your phone, underneath the last mint in the box. The strange bow is under the grime in a scratch on that last penny you forgot about in the bottom of your pocket. The strange bow is in plain sight, as dark void of immeasurable distance next to the North Star. Do not resist. Let the strange bow in. Healing encompasses us, accessible to all. There is no privileged pathway to healing, no necessity for an enlightened person who knows, no need to search for healing. Healing is yours. You only need name it so. Somewhere over the strange bow, I am not sure how, the thick middle layer of my heart that is so much like my tongue learned to lead me on this coronary muscle detour journey, soul echo quest, depredation dodge dance, or how the voyage has happened at all. But I think unknowing is what asks us to be at peace, to comprehend human light has arisen within me, does not require my understanding to be feelably true. If it did, there would be no such thing as a poem.
Damn it. He just does that. Like, how do you dissect our brain in real time? That's not okay, sir. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Paul.
Oh my God.
Yay, Paul.
Oh my
Love it.
God.
Love it.
Like Paul.
If anyone else delivered that poem, it would still be amazing. But the demons that you put into it with the way, like with your style of delivery is just like I'm scared. I'd be scared to be in the same room as you. It'd be like the energy would be too much. Like I'm happy I'm hiding behind my monitor right now. That is too potent.
Diabolical.
It's fucking diabolical, yeah.
Oh, that's a great compliment, Nate. Thank you.
Fucking diabolical.
Diabolical. Yeah,
Love
I
that.
like
Yeah, it's a mind that we are truly gifted to be, the receiver of. Your work is just so uncompromising with what you have to say and the way you have to say it and your choice to deliver it as art and music, thought provoking, and always it's just so. I had this thing when I started writing that I refused to make the poem so simple that everyone would understand it. And so my very first book, I split into two because the criticism was so hard. And I made half of it what I wanted to say, the way I wanted to say it, and the other half, the more accessible stuff. And that was my first book in '96. But you stay true.
And there's
Well,
something about
thank you, everybody. I keep having to feel myself wanting to acknowledge, like kind of similar to what Elemental said in his introduction about learning from everybody here. And what I just read really wouldn't have been entirely possible had I not spent all the time I've spent here for the last, 4 years or more? So thanks.
Bravo.
very, very real. Oh, my apologies. Something very real about how very comfortable you are with your abstract nature, right? You kind of remind me of if Hannibal Lecter was a poet, how he would kind of dig into people's brains while they're in the audience and not even know, that they would smell their brains cooking. That's just what you do. You're so fearless with it. Um, and for the folks who've never been around a Jedi Master, like his energy really is like that, right? He has this whiskey, right, that he sprays to like clear the air when he gets on the microphone. It's so real, man. Like he is really that dude. Like he really is that dude. Um, I just really, really can't thank you enough for even when you said like, oh, just get into the poetry. Sir, we always get into your poetry, right? It doesn't matter if you start 3/4 into a poem or 4/4 into a poem. We're still trying to make $1 every time, right? Between the feral infernos, in coalition of symptoms, the All-American mass shootings, the United States Barbarian Association, the Supreme Court uterus plan, somewhere over the strange bow. Listen, I kind of thought that's where we existed. The art of the aristocratic psychosis. Listen, I'm familiar with this. Marketing can make money flow from anything at all. Stuck between two pages. Do not resist. Healing encompasses us, right? There is no privileged pathway to healing. Gosh, man. Again, like you're just like Hannibal Lecter, man. You're just like, you don't even know. You don't even know that your brain is being cooked. Damn it. I appreciate you, sir. Truly, truly. Make sure you plug in with the Jedi Master, man. He's been rocking for quite a while. You're right. This is coming up on our 5th year rocking together, Jedi Master, and it's I'm still inspired each and every time, each and every week by all that all of you do. Thank you for doing it. All right, let's keep it going. 2 more on the guaranteed list, and then we'll get to the good luck round. Coming up next, one of my favorite folks, this incredible artist, member of this community, took it to the stage, made it cook, burnt it down, and then keeps coming back and like, this is how we do, right? We traverse the multiverse. And this artist right here is proof of just that. The one and only Dr. Z Page in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you. It's always great to see you, Dr. Z Page. Please take it away.
Thank you, Elemental. Sorry, I'm just not feeling super great tonight, but been here and glad to have this space. I put my Instagram in the chat at ZPagePoetry. Feel free to follow me. I wrote this piece for like the WoW event a couple weeks back, but I don't think anybody here was in the room. So some new shit tonight for us. And I didn't necessarily write it for Slam, but I thought it might work. So I'm thinking about bringing it to the Bowery on Monday. Curious what people think. Yeah, this one is about my dad. This is us having our first dance, daddy-daughter dance at a wedding. I waited 40 years before we had our first dance, but we did. And this one's called Daddy's Trans Daughter Issues. My dad's called me many names. Champ, buddy, my boy. Words you may think are good to hear, but boy, oh boy, the first time he said the words sweetheart and daughter, it was a gender reveal party that felt like God patting my head. Because daddy issues mean something different to transgender women. My dad named me Michael, the archangel, as he wanted me to rise strong above weighted blankets of conditional love that conditioned me to achieve his dreams of having a son. I was a druid trapped in a tower with vines of hair wrapped around her neck because she couldn't live in the isolation of being raised the wrong sex. Now, as an adult, I'm sporadically shocked with 100-volt surges of the urges I was insulated from in childhood. I search for someone who calls himself daddy, who enters the holes made by my daddy. Holes in my heart flow with murmurs begging for the sound of daughter. The wounds of his words let the bloody scar beating. Boy, 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 boy. Still, I know he loves me. He raised me a boy only unwittingly, and he keeps doing beautiful things that surprise me. I never knew what a good dancer he was until he cradled me close at a family wedding. He whispered, "You better believe I'm gonna lead." His arms dipped me into a big dipper filled to the brim with female gender. I saw stars of euphoria, his legs rooted to the floor while holding me out to relatives who witnessed his support of me. Yet I'm the hypocrite because I stole my son's father from him. Michael's a missing face on a milk carton, forgotten to fading photos before there ever was Facebook. On Christmas, I listened to my son telling Santa to bring him a daddy, to be like the other children he would see at school, a place where in some states I'm a criminal just for picking him up at the bus circle and using the correct bathroom. There wouldn't be so much hatred, the transgender community, if we changed the stories we pass on to our children, to transition fables of empathy and understanding into the shared realities held by our daddies. Father, you gave me everything with one word. It didn't take 7 days to create me, but 7 years of work to culminate with the flowers you sent and a note reading, I'm proud you're my daughter. Poem.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Catch your breath on that one, folks. God damn. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Dr. Z. Hey.
Yes, yes,
Yes,
fucking
I'm about to pass
ovation.
out right here on this
Bravo.
floor. Oh my gosh, that was awesome. That was beautiful. Wow.
Fucking ovation, Doc. If that's not a slam poem, I don't know what is.
That's the truth.
Please make sure, Dr. Z Page, you may call your colleagues or call 911 before you touch the stage on that one, because that is flame. And you may burn the building down with that shit. Gosh, the way that you were shit between a druid trapped in a tower and being raised in the wrong sex, right? Begging for the sounds of daughter and the sounds of boy. God damn it. God damn it. I stole my son's father from him. And Michael on the milk cart. Shit. Like that could easily be a title, whether it's a poem, whether it's a book. Michael on a milk carton. Welcome, Dr. Z Page. Like, your work is so viscerally beautiful. You gotta know that. Make sure you got the fire department on standby when you rip that shit, because you're gonna burn some folks. Shit. Whether you're feeling good or bad, that shit just work. Shit. Appreciate you, Dr. Z Page. Yeah, take that to the slam stage and put in that work on their ass. Real. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. All right. One more on the guaranteed list. We got a full good luck round. So let's get to it. Coming up next, this gentleman right here, yo. Last time he came through, he brought that work. It's good to see him back. Glad that he's been contributing to the commentary this evening. Listen, make sure you show your love. The one and only Nate Webner is back in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you, man. Great to see you. Please take it away.
I hope by the way, internet's doing real bad right now. So if I end up lagging out, that's going to be horrible. But Lord, how the hell am I supposed to follow up all that? But you can't find me anywhere except here. If you're up at New Pulse, you can check me out at Gunks every now and then. They do open mic on Tuesdays, but that's about it. But I would say this is an exclusive then, but that means we'll have to see if it's worth that title or not. Let me see here. I got real lucky that this one actually matches the theme. I was not planning that, but we'll pretend that that was intentional. Tight knot bedfellows with the heart. Every time I see love on a leash. And old mining tunnels cored from juvenile earth, rot forgotten in humid darkness. Air staling under sheets of dirt layered for miles, until civilization came back across its tomb in an incidental crawl, like water from a spilled cup, slowly spreading, rubbing, wearing through the worn linen inches with trails and roads, until the thinned barrier between here and hell buckles and collapses into sinkholes, sending dusty, fetid breath howling from dead arteries. I've been building my paths around pits, rarely falling in and barely crawling out, scarred and bloody from stabbing through bitumen with caked fingers. You can spend whole days a panting dog, in the shade licking petrol off your joints at the edge of Earth's first stitches over old wounds. And every missed drop will condense in your blood and grind between your vertebrae, as spreading cave-ins herd you into a maze in a circle. Don't let buried past drill apart your future. Dive into the pitch black heart and let heightened hands play archaeologist, and archive every tool mark, and glue together every potsherd, and sweep together the story they desperately scattered, and re-steal it for yourself. And flood every fucking chamber, with lacquer and gold from the surface on high, until every fissure is crackling electrum, and the disintegrating continent is glowing kintsugi. And the continent is yours, and the continent is you, and take your first step forward. Thank you.
The continent is definitely you, sir. Right? The continental drift is real because you drifted yourself into the greatest community in the world, and you're damn welcome, sir. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Nate Webner.
All right.
Nate.
It's wonderful.
Oh,
it was
good stuff.
intense.
Nice.
Go ahead, Garland.
Taking
No,
it as
that
public
wasn't me.
as you needed to, one step at a time.
That was intense. I like the fact that that was advice you were giving and the tone you delivered that advice in.
Something so very real about how you put that together, right? It came from a very real place, right? My only suggestion is don't hide your eyes. Don't hide your eyes. Let the community see how much of your soul is really on display. Right? Like you said, every time I see love on a leash, right? It's almost like you want to cut that shit, right? Right? In the shade, licking petrol, like that's just like I love it, right? Urge you into a maze in a circle. What? Re-steal it for yourself. And that's why I'm saying, re-steal it for yourself. That is powerful work, sir, right? Your cadence, your timing, your confidence is there. You just got to believe it because we definitely do. Appreciate you, man, for doing what you do. Make sure you're not a stranger, man. Come through, for real. We appreciate all that you do, truly. All right, folks. That was the end of our guarantee list. Y'all are fucking phenomenal, each and every one of you. Let's get to this good luck round. Coming up first, listen, this cat right here, listen. Love the fact that he made the move into the whip. He is about to get to it and get with it. The one and only wall poet in the building, about to stand on some business. Let these folks know where they can find you, man. Always great to see you. Come on, man. Tear it down.
Always a pleasure to be here. You can find me on wallpoet82 on IG. All right, let me get into it. I got two pieces. One is an older piece, one is on theme. So, all right. All right. This one's called Wordplay. I play with words, watch them as they bounce, leap, tumble off the page, stacking them high like Jenga pieces while they stretch out for the heavens, my own Tower of Babel, and with a swipe of my hand they crash down like sequoias, branches breaking off, brushing my words to the edge of the page, but they seem to always bounce back to the center. Some words envious of others. The F word effing furious for not being used as much anymore. Other words consoling him. Oh, Wally's a father, teacher, and scholar now, you know. But BS is still glad to be around to keep everyone in check. I and personal pronouns alike are the most conceited, consistently being used, a constant reminder of their author's egos, encouraging self-indulgence. My words play, fight, scream, slash your face when least expected, expected to show perspicaciousness, sometimes can do the opposite. A lackluster vocabulary can cause embarrassment. Vivid depiction of emotion not being used correctly, or overly loquacious and verbose. The quintessential number on a page and a work of art is created. Too many and you've overdosed. Here's hope. Let's go. Nothing comes from nothing. Nothing comes from nothing. In Greek philosophy, nothing comes from nothing is the idea that existence cannot exist from nothing. There must be a starting point. Shout out to Parmenides. Some religions argue the opposite with the belief that a higher being is able to create a universe from a blank slate. Shout out to creationism. And in 1970s soul music, nothing from nothing leaves nothing. You got to have something to be with me. Shout out to Billy Preston, which really makes me wonder, where do we come from? Or better yet, where do I come from? And I'm not simply referring to only location or biology by mentioning that I come from a sperm and egg, but if I had to really answer that question, then I guess I would say I come from the unfulfilled dreams of parents and mountain air so thin it shortens your breath until you become faint. I come from teachers and doctors disguised as busboys, waiters, and cooks in order to survive in a foreign land. I come from non-existent shortcuts where anything worthwhile was earned from refusing to give up even when you really wanted to. I come from conga drums blaring out of boom boxes half my height at 5 years old. I come from eating orange slices during the halftime of Civitan soccer games at age 10. I come from potatoes cultivated in the Andes Mountains and Wu-Tang's 36 chambers living in my tape deck at 12 years of age. I come from my college education taking me over a decade to complete. I come from my first car being a Nissan Altima with dents and a missing hubcap to match. I come from applying to over 7 different schools before getting my first teacher job. I come from being called lazy by teachers who never bothered to question if I had ADHD, so I always make sure to have extra patience for the students I teach. But also, I come from Arlington and Fairfax, Virginia, a melting pot nestled outside the city that I used to once take for granted, now happily embrace, and appreciate the fact that my children got to be raised here. And I come from a community of poets and musicians that inspire me to create art every day, that inspire me to keep going for my dreams despite my age, that inspire me to dig deep and push myself to be great. Poem. Thank you very much.
I mean, you inspire us to be better, and I'm glad that we inspire you to be great. Damn it. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Wall Poet.
Wonderful.
Yeah, Walker, I love
Yes.
poems that are full of pride and overcoming like that. That was really great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And don't feel bad. I was on that 10-year college plan too. You're not alone, brother.
There you go. Thank you.
If only your teachers could see and hear you now. They're like, damn, you're amazing. Amazing.
Thank you.
As I've said this evening, and I try to remember to say every evening, shout out the educators in the building. Something very, very powerful, man, when you can take what's happened to you and still have the strength and the wherewithal to go into a classroom and make sure your students feel, right, that they can take the things that you might not have gotten and get all of it, right? And then be a dope ass creative on top of that. Like, there's just something about that, right? You said my own Tower of Babel, right? My words play, bite, scream, overly loquacious and verbose. Like, come on. Nothing come from nothing. Straight up, shout out creationism. Shout out Billy Preston. I come from the unfulfilled dreams of parents, teachers, and doctors as busboys and cooks. Up from the 36 chambers. Yo. Oh. I don't even know how many people remember hubcaps, but I got you, right? Quick story. My partner used to have a green Mirage. Shout out my man Frank. He used to have them, and we'd be driving down the freeway going back to school, and the car would just kick them shits off, and we'd be like, "Oh shit, is that your hubcap?" For real, man. I just appreciate what you do. I hope that you continue to do it and inspire your students. For real. Appreciate all that you do. For real. Putting in that car work, man. Appreciate you. For real. All right. Coming up next, this incredible artist continues to come through. I like to call her Mrs. Good Luck Round. She comes through, she puts in the work, whether she's on the path or not, she puts in the work. The one and only Elizabeth Horan is in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you. It is always great to see you. Please take it away.
Hello, friends. I'm so happy to see you. What a great night. Have loved the poetry, have loved the connections. It's always just an honor and pleasure to be here. So I'm gonna read one called, we'll just start with this one. I don't have a good plan, but I've wanted to read this for a little while for you guys because I am in rural Vermont and I have animals and there's a lot of animals here and I connect with them really deeply. And so this is one kind of about that connection. So this poem is called One Could Say. I lost a goat today. One could say she's just a goat, but she's gone nonetheless. Gone too is a little piece of me, from my hands that fed her, my arms that hugged her, my feet that followed her up mountains. My heart that melted a little each time she called to me from the barn, asking for hay, for grain, to be let out of her pen. A bear was here today. He was on my porch. He ate my compost, my eggs. He spared the chickens. He took the goat. My neighbors reported he was a biggin. I often chastise my neighbors for bad-mouthing bears or those gun lovers that hunt them. I have thought, what barbarians? How could they do that to the bear? So wild, so majestic, an easy symbol for our care and concern. But this was my goat, and I am so mad at that bear. How dare he come into my yard and terrorize my domestics? He lived here once. Perhaps he loved here once. He cares not at all that we built a house here. Perhaps we did this below his den in the uplifted boulders of shale and gneiss. Perhaps he watched us, sniffing the air, disgusted by our messy ways and wasteful suburbanite bent. Perhaps he procreated here, ate acorns here, defecated the berries and copious mounds of magenta, the very same that we now pick and make into wholesome pies. Patting myself on the back for being such a competent and clever pioneer housewife, just like Laura Ingalls Wilder, using the land, reaping its gifts. But this bear should go now, somewhere else now. There are goats and chickens and children's here now. I don't know where to tell him to go, just not here, bear. I lost a goat today. One could say she's just a goat. A bear came by today. One could say he's just a bear that used to live here. Thank you very much.
Say he used to live here, but we live here now.
It's rough.
Real about that. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Elizabeth Horan.
Elizabeth.
It was great.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
Great, Ellie. I love your connection between the prey and the predator and yourself.
Yeah.
Like we are all one, no matter. Put the feelings aside. Reality is real, huh?
And the civilized and the domesticated and the wild. Who's free?
Me.
Wow. I love how you incorporate your animals into your family, and then you you feel so much for them that you speak for them. You said, just the fact that you said there are, perhaps he loved here once, right? You mentioned Laura Ingalls Wilder. I can't remember the last time that someone just brought that. Like every week you always bring something, right? But you said goats and chickens and children live here now. And I love how like the folks said, right? You like the maestro said, right? It's you put yourself in that and there is no separation. It's all one being, right? This is all who you are now. And I'm thankful that you have embraced it and that you share it with us so very vividly, so very candidly. I truly appreciate you and all your commentary throughout the evening. You truly help your colleagues continue to do what we all do. Thank you, truly. All right, y'all. Let's keep it going. 4 more poets on the list this evening. Coming up next, yo, this incredible gentleman, whether clearly he has his instrument, whether he's using his comedy as an instrument, whether he has his instrument, his musicianship, his writing is so very unique. Love when this cat comes through. Love it. Absolutely love it. The one and only Catman Bill is in the building, y'all. Let these folks know where they can find you, Catman. Really, it's always great to see you, sir. Please take it away.
Well, thank you. Well, you can find me on Subtrack, BillCats at subtrack.com, or Yahoo, not Yahoo, YouTube, Catman Bill and YouTube. Anyway, so I'm going to do the song, and I'll give a little story before performing it. Broken Roads and Broken Trails Inauguration Day. It was written on 4 years and 2 days ago when Biden was inaugurated president. Amazing how how quickly 4 years goes by. And as I watched the ceremony on the screen, it was a cloudy, misty day, and when the poet laureate came out to sing her song, her poem, the clouds broke and the sun came through for just a few moments, and I noted it in this song. And I also want to mention a little promo for both the march and I guess myself too, but the march, the People's March on Washington, also has affiliates all over the country. And on Saturday, this coming Saturday at 10 o'clock, there will be a march in Manhattan on Center Street in front of the State Supreme Court, and the march will proceed to Washington Square Park. And I'm slated to perform at both places, provided it doesn't rain, and we're having our fingers crossed. So I thought I'd just do this song. The song is about really the president, the one that was in the White House before Biden, called Broken Roads, Broken Trails. Nothing more to say. Wrong from the first day. Wrong till the last day, you know the tale. Broken roads and broken trails. He was ushered out, left behind only doubt. Blinds up the White House, disinfected through and through. Sun up and skies are blue. so you walk past trees by the reflecting pool. Listen to the echo of gangs and pools. Wrong till the last day you know the trail. Broken roads and broken trails. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth will make you free. They told that to me once back in school. Wrong till the last day you know the tale. Broken roads and broken trails. Thank you.
I told y'all the way that man uses his instrument is absolutely incredible. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Catman. Boo!
Catman.
So if any of you, some of you do live in Manhattan or in the boroughs, have a little time on your hands, come on down to Center Street. It's the last stop in Manhattan near the Brooklyn Bridge. I guess it's called City Hall, on the 6th train, and say hello.
What time is it?
It will start at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
And with a few speeches, some music, and then there will be some band that will, I think, accompany the marchers over to Washington Square Park, in which we'll have a little more entertainment, and that's it.
Thanks, Bill.
You're welcome.
Something so very real about the songs that you write, Catman, and the way that you deliver your songs, right? Your instrument, I don't know which one sings to which one. I don't know if you sing to your instrument or your instrument sings to you, but there is such a beautiful symbiosis between you and your guitar. And I love the way that you use it. I love the tone that you use and how you write your songs. They're always amazing. And now, you're going to, put it in motion, right? With the People's March. And I just love the fact that you're putting your work in motion, right? For a cause that anyone and everyone can get behind. And I thank you, sir, for doing what you do. Truly. Catman's been rocking with us for some years, y'all. And I'm telling you, that gentleman is consistent. Truly appreciate you, sir. Truly. All right, folks. 3 artists left. Coming up next, our resident superhero is in the building. This incredible artist makes so much space and so much room for so many artists. She's now created pushcart nominees. She is, giving people opportunities to publish their work, whether it's a 6-word love stories or as a true literary magazine. This incredible artist just does some amazing things. I like to call her the daughter of Krypton. The one and only Finn Bell is in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you. It really is always great to see you. Please take it away.
It's good to see you too, Elemental. Hello, folks. You could find me lurking about, lurking about places. So tonight, I would like to have the honor of sharing with you a poem, which is actually one of my ventures. I'm part of a publishing house called PGN Publishing, and we came out with 2 books in our last season by actually, coincidentally, 2 Filipino poets. And I'm going to read to you a poem from one of the books. The book is titled When Stars Are Traitors, and the poem is titled Culinary. I'd like to give you guys a trigger warning in advance. It is a poem. The whole book is about sexual assault. So this is called Culinary. 4 guys knew how to count. The ingredients of my skin, awaited meat hauled fresh from a market, shoved into a metallic bag. I felt like wheels ran their wills to a house where they never asked how my feet would clap on the floor. I'm a deal they dealed for on a bowl with a 4-hour hand. Marinating the abuse of foreplay, hands, folding my meat, one flavor at a time. Skin is scraped more naked than the marrow of moans hanging on their saliva. It is a seasoning. Molesting is tastier when they lick their tongues like crickets. A delicacy is delicious when choked, telling it's time. Their sweat oiled the bed like a pan heated well. My body was thrown face up, buttered with lips, seeping into strands of secrets I wanted to save. They sucked help out of me. They're fond of fondling vulnerability, poking each hole, one different penis at a time. Trauma fits all sizes. Testing for a perfect temperature to hold my thighs high enough. God would be high, being absent in his stolen kitchen. I was their heaven. Cooking me like I deserve. My muteness, begging on palms, thrusting, come after come, scream after scream, an Epicurean sin I did nothing to earn. They take turn after turn, churning innocence until all the parts are well done. They're done. Well done. It makes a ruin out of a child. I tried to save the 5-year-old in me, but they're good chefs. Chafing hope is a gastronomy. I was made into a fine dining entree. After a quarter day, it's rarely to be plated for everyone to enjoy, to be consumed from a cookbook. A recipe is now served of someone who got raped. Me. After hearing my story, I must wander to wonder that, did you get full too, like my rapist did? Or are you a dish as well? Either way, bon appetit. Thank you.
This, damn it. Damn it. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Finn Bell.
Thank you, Bell.
Thank you, Ben.
You know, it's something to be a poet and have work to do, and then to do the work. It's another thing to make the work your life so that you could have your soul back, or so you could fight for it. And that kind of poetry is just makes the rest of our courage look like, wow, you know. So thank you for your work. Thank you for your work. And your international reach too. How important it is to take the voice from another country and bring it here too. So thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you. Reading that and going through it little by little again for the how manyth time is helping me to finally find words for my own experience. So it's frightening, but also cathartic to visit, at least through Lacan has the words, and yeah, they're giving me words too. So thank you.
You know, that I've always said ever since I was young, no matter how small the problem was, that there's no going around, there's no going under, and there's no going over. The only way is through. The only way is through. And that's That's going through it. And
Whoa,
it's
what
true.
the fuck was that?
Yeah, that poem was really a monument to, the spirit of being able to, you can't call that perseverance. It's a kind of steadfastness and reclaiming and recovering a sense of self, and making those kind of public proclamations in a very straightforward way. Of course, is the method to shatter the the hold something like that experience has on people. That of course is never going to completely go away, but that poem really was very, very much a monument to that ability, as CC said, of going right through.
First of all, shout out PGN. Secondly, shout out Lacan. Okay. Lacan is still one of my favorite poets in the world. The way that he writes, the way that he reclaims his strength from his trauma, it's so visceral, right? He's one of those dudes that just digs so deeply into his work, you cannot help but feel the energy coming off of it, right? You can stand back from it and still feel the energy coming off of it. His word choices are ridiculous, and those words coming out of your mouth is even more ridiculous. All right. I know there's a synergy between the two of you and how you deliver it. If folks didn't know that that was his work, they might have thought it was yours just because of the connection to it. And there's just so many things that he does to make sure you feel those things. The marrow of moans, a delicacy is delicious when choked, right? They suck the help out of me. Trauma fills all. I was their heaven. And then to think of what it is, the premise of this poem, and then hear the sentiments. There's something about that, right? It's a delicate, delicious dish that nobody wants, but everybody orders. It's crazy. But I appreciate every single ounce of that work. I appreciate you for bringing it to us. Thank you. Truly, thank you, Finn. Make sure y'all plug in with Finn Cabulary. She's amazing. She makes room for so many artists on so many platforms. Truly appreciate you. Again, shout out PGN. All right, coming up next, all the way out Jersey in the building. This artist right here is about to bring it as she has, as she does, and as she's about to once again. The one and only Kayla is here. Let these folks know where they can find you. Come on, you know it's great to see you. Take it away.
Hi everyone. First I want to say Finn, that poem was amazing. Thank you for that. I put my Instagram in the chat, K the poet, and I actually wrote this poem today at 5 in the morning. I woke up and just wrote. So, yeah, this poem is called Love. According to the dictionary, love means an intense feeling of affection. But according to Bell Hooks, it's not just a feeling, it's an action. Yes, you may feel love because you have a deep passion, but does the actions line up? Like when I say I love Palestinians, I don't just love them. I want to see them free, liberating, smiling, free to be. So I don't stop talking about what's going on in their country. Like when I say I love Black people, it's not just me saying I love Black people. It's the community. It's the care we bring when the ship starts to sink. It's the grease mama slides between strands, manifesting love through her hands. It's when Pop says, get up and take a stand. It's when my love supports who I am. It's when community comes together when we're unjustly killed, and we're pretty skilled in love, profoundly even, the way we are monolithic, switching it to become a monolithic string. I know I said love so many times in this poem, But my love for poetry was carved into my bones, stringed with veins, breathing into me, flowing through me. I have become whole. A harp of poetry, stringing harmonies, producing love with different chords, lifting each other up for a shared purpose, opening our hearts and minds, vowing commitment and support, empowering the community through unity and collective action, lifting, opening, vowing, empowering love. It's community, sometimes me and you, always a collective we, an action that binds unity to have compassion and strength meet. Love. The way it rolls off my tongue and the word wraps me in a hug, warms my heart not just for an act, but to fill gaps of the cracks. So I advocate for you. I fight for you. I turn a noun into a verb for you. Now this poem became an adjective for you, love. It's giving, pleasing, receiving, releasing. I've been hooked on this passion for action. Love is not just a feeling. Poem.
He said turn a noun to a verb for you. Now it's the adjective. Like, God damn it, that's how you do it. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Kayla.
That's how you
Oh,
do it.
Kayla.
Hello.
Never be afraid to write a love is poem.
That's good.
Wonderful.
Gotta go there. I've written
Good
many.
stuff.
Thank you. Thank
Write
you.
one in 10 years and then in 20 years. That love is thing, man. When you have to write a love is poem, that means you can't get away. That I love that. It's carved in your bones. Somebody wrote that in the chat. Yeah.
Beautiful.
That's one of
Thank
the most important things I think about poetry is I used to tell people, if you want to be a poet, don't. If you have to be, if you're going to die, unless you go down that road. You're going to die if you don't do this. So
Yeah,
I love that a lot. That's a calling.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
that was really super. It's um, trying to identify love, but you had a much more expansive apprehension of it and where it comes from and how it manifests and how you reach out to inhabit it that way in all the ways you talked about.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I wanted it to be more so like showing that love is just not a feeling, it's more so an action. So that was my whole theory. And I actually saw a prompt for an event I'm planning on going to, and it was like explain love but not through the feeling, explain it through community. So I woke up, seen that on Instagram at 5 in the morning, and was like, hey, let me do it. And I just started writing until 9 a.m. And yeah.
Yeah, you can't do much better than bell hooks to get provoked.
Right.
Ring the bell. Let it hook you into a poem, right? And I love that how you went all the way into it, right? And then wrapping it into community, right? I want to see them free, right? Manifest love through their hands. Oh my goodness, with every braid, baby, with every so much in that, right? We're pretty skilled at love, right? I have become whole, right? And to me, that spoke to me of not just love, but the community aspect of love, right? Harmony, producing love with many chords, right? Now we're an orchestra, right? Now we're a piece of music, right? The word wraps me in a hug, right? That damn line for real. Turn a noun into a verb for you. What? Like, to me, and I know, shout out Findel. She's been, doing some exquisite corpse type things. Shout out Art Define who does that too. I'm thinking about possibly doing one of these in a couple weeks based on what Kayla just said. Love it. So prepare yourself, folks. That may be an exquisite corpse poem coming to our community. Thank you. Thank you for that. And good work on that new shit. That's what I'm talking about. Shout out the paint slingers in the building. That's how you do. Appreciate you. All right, y'all. We have reached the closer of the evening. And let me tell you what this dude does, brother. He is the one and only Mr. Snap into a Slam Jam, Mr. Off the Top Rope. Dre Reyes 316 is in the building. Come on, Dre. You already know what it is. Let these folks know where they can find you. It's been a while since you've been in the room all evening, man, but your energy is definitely felt. Come on, man. You know what it is. Take it away. Great to see you.
Yeah, I've been quietly been enjoying everything that's been going on here. Always a pleasure to be here. Hope everybody's been having a good week so far. Um, Shout out to David Lynch, rest in power. Um, Figured to also throw this out real quick. In the group chat, I'm gonna just quickly promote two events I'm gonna be throwing on Bloodline Poetry this Saturday. And every Saturday we have the Slam Jam, a slam workshop, and open mic. This week we'll be having Moody Black as our special guest coach. So with that said, tune into that. Zoom room information is all right there. And then later at the end of the month, the last Sunday of every month, we'll be having a prize slam. Go for blood. $15 for per poet, five for anybody who wants to spectate, and first place gets all the money. Be a good time. It has been a good time. So with that said, let's get on to the poetry. And it's just, I guess we're kind of like gonna be going into the same flow with love here. Because I don't know, there's something in the air, definitely. I don't know, at least on my end, at the very least. And shout outs to Kayla for that awesome poem. Word, like seriously, keep doing what you're doing. So I'm gonna quickly preface this old shit like last summer shit. I challenged myself to pretty much write a poem, like a love poem, but not directed towards anyone. So here's Untitled Love, and I'm going to preface this with a David Lynch quote. Life should be blissful, and blissful doesn't mean just a small happiness. It's huge. It is profound. Being with you gives me a warm, nostalgic feeling to a time when I was a more complete human being. A tender sense of familiarity looking into your eyes brings forth a swarm of dope butterflies that swells up my insides as I fly sky high all the way up to cloud 9. You're so sublime, so divine, you don't even know how fine of a dime you are. I want to gaze into the eyes and under the moon and stars, getting lost, finding passion larger than the size of Mars. It can eclipse any and all scar tissue memory meteors with the potential of finding true love much easier. Now, how dope would it be to see how it could be if we can agree to be a wee bit closer to a degree, to see how it could be if we could plant this seed and watch it turn into a solid oak tree, symbolizing our unity as we branch out to infinity. If I boldly entrust you with the key to my heart, that's me saying that I'll love you beyond the point I depart from this realm. As long as we keep things heart to heart, our love has potential to brush strokes of rainbow art on the canvas of the world around us and jumpstart a revolution in our hearts as we strive for state of the art love. Poem. Thank you.
Okay, so we just people all over the world join the love train at the end. I got you. That cat just happened to be a funky caboose. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Dre.
Yeah, Dre. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Softer, kinder Dre.
Look, even the pup was into it. Like, come on, Dre. Yeah, Dre.
Thank you, Dre.
Thank you.
No,
Thank you.
on that love note, another thing to do is if you're going to write a poem about love, to do it without using the word love is a good exercise. You're going to write something about, you're going to write a poem about tree, do it without saying the word tree. It's another way to look at that whole way to draw the best of you out. It's just thought I add that because there's two ways to go down that road.
Huh.
You brought it up.
Yeah.
Anyway, love you all.
Absolutely. It's a great exercise. Really. I wrote a poem like that in my book. It was just that way. It was a challenge by, a cat that I used to rock with. Like write a love poem without love, right? Love without love. It's a struggle, but then it forces you to kind of do exactly what Kayla was doing, right? Wrap it into something else and, explain it or describe it, you know what I mean? And what it means to you and how it makes you the person that you are. And I love how, the preface that you gave it, love should be blissful, profound. It really should. And you said to a time when I was a more complete human being, something about that feeling, right? It does kind of give you a level of completeness, right? You don't even know how fine of a dime you are. Just shiny, right? Number one dime. Shout out Scrooge McDuck, man. If we could be a wee bit closer, if you agree, right? As we branch out into infinity, right? As Nate was saying earlier about Eddie's poem, right? It's, when you add rhyme, people think, oh, well, it's not, this profound thing, but it's about how you use it. It's kind of like salt, right? When it's used perfectly, it's great. When it's overdone, it's blown out, right? But, there's only masters in this universe, right? And we do the things that we do very delicately. And the way that y'all just put a beautiful caboose on this train this evening, it's just amazing. And Dre, you're no slouch, man. Like you're just, again, like you're just, Dre Reyes 316. I just appreciate what you do, man. As I said, Mr. Snapping to a Slam Jam, he just does this. As we, some people do this, but we do this, right? I am so very thankful for each and every one of you. We are ending exactly on the time that I need to. Unfortunately, folks, won't be able to jump into the cipher this evening because I'm on the road and I have to shut down the system where I'm at. However, next week, I know we have it in a couple weeks, but next week I will be back at the homestead and we will definitely get into the cipher because listen, I miss it too. I miss having the conversations, on the street, right? Smoke them if you got them kind of thing. But we definitely will get back to it. Listen, I really, really can't thank y'all for continuing to make this the greatest night of the week with the greatest community in the world. I don't just say that. I really, really do feel that. I really do love all of you. All of you are making this world a little bit better week by week, right? Your words are energetic. Your energy is so palpable. I really, really can't thank you enough for doing what you do, for being fearless enough to do it and share it with us. Listen, make sure you plug in with all things New Eureka Poets Cafe. Check into the website, get yourself some merch. Make sure you're connecting with each other. Okay, that's the most important part of this community is that we continue to grow it and build it and strengthen each other. All right, be available for each other. Take care of yourselves and each other. You know what this is. We're going to end the night like this until we meet again. May this energy we conjured this evening supercharge the rest of your week. Take this power, inspire others, energize creativity as we all hope to do through the spirit of Miguel Agarin. Your voice is appreciated, necessary, and always valuable in this space. Thank you for sharing it with us. Never forget, cowards get buried here. We reclaim our strength through our fearlessness. On behalf of the greatest community in the world, it's truly been a pleasure spending Thursday night with you.